How's it going, guys? My name is Mellow, and welcome to another episode of Mellow Speaks. Today, we're going to be talking about paranormal experiences. Now, before I get into this, let me just explain one thing. That being what the fuck you are seeing right now. For whatever reason, I was tempted to climb Mount Chiliad's second hardest path with a tank. I do understand that the tank is a fucking tank, and it's not like it's very, versatile or even agile or anything like that. But I just bear with me. If you watch this all the way, to the end, you will see that I am successful in my travels. But that's not really the point of the video. I just need something to put in the background of this commentary, and I hope you guys like what I decided to go with, as it is also entertaining to listen to what I have to say, as well as seeing what's going on in front of you. But anyways, like I said, today's episode is going to be about paranormal experiences. Now, when it comes down to paranormal experiences, a lot of these are just basically unexplained. I don't know if I kind of fathom these within my own mind, within the confines of my own reality, or maybe they happened during dreams and they just seemed real, or, just the typical things that you would mark off as being the explanation for all these sort of events. But anyways, I have quite a bit of these, actually. I'm going to try my best to mark up the ones that I can remember pretty fluently, that I can recall in my recollective memory pretty well. And that's about it. So hopefully these are chronologically sound, because these are kind of mixed up. I'm going to try to explain it the best I can. If I do get some of these wrong, I will go back in another video and then kind of patch, what I say, and hopefully this goes over smoothly. But whatever, this is all, raw, uncut, commentary, and I hope that it just goes well. So anyways, paranormal experiences. Let's go with my first experience, which I can actually recall. In my early years, we used to live in a small apartment that included a roommate. And I'm not going to give away too much of my personal details, of course, but it was my mother and my stepfather at the time, and then his stepfather lived with a roommate. So eventually, through the years, nothing really interesting happened. I slept primarily in my mother's room and my stepfather's room on the couch, and nothing odd seemed to happen there. But it seemed as though throughout the years, it just increasingly felt, I don't know how to explain it, I don't know what the word is for it, but over the years I just felt like there was something like continuously starting to happen, like gradually there was more and more things happening. There you go, that's a better explanation of what I was trying to say. I think I was just trying to go for more kind of philosophical kind of really cool sounding way of explaining, kind of like, some Matrix shit where I'm like all super cool sounding when I explain that. But we'll just go with the straight and narrow and the regular shit. But yeah, just gradually over the years, some weirder shit just seemed to happen out of the random, and I just always had a feeling that there was always someone there when there really wasn't anyone there. But at one point, the roommate that was living with us actually moved out. And it was at that time that the room that he was living in was now made available to me. And once that happened, my mother moved some things in there for me to use, and just, made it my room, and, etc. and so forth. And what ended up happening is, I would say within the first couple months that I can recall, of that event, for some reason in the middle of the night, this was like dead on in the middle of the night. When this would happen, I would wake up and I could not see my hand in front of my face. That is how dark it was in the room. And keep in mind, my bed was actually like 2 feet away from my window, which had direct eye shot of the moon, and the moon puts off quite a bit of light. And I couldn't see my fucking hand in front of my face. It was very, very dark. It was like 1, 2 in the morning. The sun wasn't even close to coming around yet, and then, the light coming from it wasn't even warping around the fucking edges of the earth. Like, hi guys, I'm the sun. It wasn't even close to doing that shit yet. it wasn't seeping into my existence quite yet at that time. So I mean, it was like, yeah, fuck. So it just at random fucking sporadic moments in the middle of the night, I would wake up to the sound of what I thought was my mother. I honestly, every single time it happened, I didn't freak out or anything because I was young and I didn't really understand what was going on, and I didn't really think of anything else, and I didn't understand that it could have been a scary situation. So when it did happen, I was just kind of like, the fuck? What? And just in the middle of the night, it would be like somebody who I thought was my mother. It was a very soft, very, very soft, timid female voice that called my name specifically. And for those who do not know, I wasn't born with the fucking name Mellow. My name is Parker. And no, for those watching this video, I will not get you pictures of Spider-Man. Fuck off. And especially not naked pictures of Spider-Man either. Because I know some of you out there are like, hey, Parker, get me naked pictures of Spider-Man. No, fuck you. I will not do that. But, yeah, I would just hear, Parker, some weird shit like that. And I would wake up and I was just like, huh? What? Mom? No one's here? Okay, I'm going back to bed. Yeah, that's basically all that happened. I would just go right back to bed, not give a fuck, wake up, not tell anybody. And this actually continued for several years. This actually happened at the time when I was living in that house. I was about 4 years old. And this happened all the way up until I was like 8 years old. And we had moved several times, and this shit still happened. And there was even more weird shit that happened in between that time period that I will get to here in a second. But this has been happening for a very long time. And recently, a couple of years ago, when we first moved into the house that I'm currently living in now, well, again, it's more of an apartment, it happened one time, and it never happened again until present day. So take that as you may. I don't know if it was a dream, but I can specifically recall the nights that it did happen, I never did have a dream. And I know that there's that argument that half of the dreams you have you don't remember, and that's bullshit, because I remember a lot of the dreams I've had, and I might actually do a video about that. Yeah, it's actually a good topic. Remind me about that if I just so happen to make another Mellow Speaks video about something completely different. If you guys want to hear about some of my dreams, which are pretty fucking hysterical, just tell me in the comments below. But anyways, on to story number dos. Other than the weird name calling that just appeared suddenly in the middle of the nighttime, I would actually see things. Now this is actually skipping over another story, but I think this one's pretty cool actually. Skipping ahead a couple years, I think I was about 10 years old, maybe 11, and I was staying the night over at my father's house over in Massachusetts. And this was a fairly new house to me, but the thing is, I always felt weird. I had actually been and slept over this house several different times on, a couple different occasions during the summertime and in the wintertime, of course. But the weird thing is, I've never really had too much of a problem with... Excuse me, guys. And no, I'm not really going to edit that out. I'm just going to leave that in there. Hear me, bilch. It is my war cry. But, yeah, I've never really had a problem with this kind of shit. So, I mean, it's not out of the norm for me to, sleep over new people's houses. I really don't have a problem with it. Sleep is sleep. I put myself to bed, and then that's fucking it. I sleep like a rock regardless. But something about this house didn't feel right. And I don't think it was the voice. I've actually contemplated this and thought about it. I don't think this was maybe the spirit or a guardian angel if you're into the Christian that's stupid. That's a whole other topic. But if you're into religion and things like that, maybe it was a guardian angel of some sort. I can't be certain on that, but maybe it was a wandering spirit or someone who was close to me, or at least close to my family in one way or another that died is now overlooking me. I did contemplate that theory, but this felt far more sinister. I mean, when I was in this house alone for even a short period of time, I just didn't feel right. There was something just so offset about this house. And one night, and I remember clearly, it scared the living shit out of me. Oh God, it was bad. But I didn't do anything about it. So one night, I had just been laying down in bed, with my father. As you know, if you guys do spend quality time with your fathers, up until you're about 9 to 10 years old to 11, you still kind of sleep with your father every once in a while, like not close to each other, but if on the couch, or one's on the couch, one's on the floor, or if you do share a bed, one's on the other side, one's on this side, whatever, things like that. You're a kid and you love your dad. So there you go. So I was sleeping with my dad one night because I just couldn't bear to sleep in the room, alone. I actually had told him that I didn't feel comfortable, and he had offered, to come stay in there with him, and that's that. But that night, I couldn't sleep, and I don't know if it was because I was scared. Because when I slept with my dad at that young age, I just instantaneously fell asleep because I was sleeping with my father. My father is a rather intimidating person, and I really don't feel the need to be like, oh, I'm totally not safe. No, I felt safe because he's my daddy. He's my dad. So I mean, when you're with your dad, you guys know how it is, and you just feel safe, and typically you don't have any problems. So I mean, it just felt odd that one night I didn't feel safe, no matter the circumstances, even given the fact that I was with my father. And when I was kind of trying to fall asleep, I was nodding to a little bit. It was around 4 o'clock in the morning, and I didn't get much sleep the night prior, so I was kind of nodding off very slightly, almost getting to sleep. And I swear to God, I had this odd feeling that something was just there. I mean, it was like fucking instant, and it was just fucking completely and utterly prevalent within my senses as a human being. You have all your senses, sight, smell, and then all those, like, the 20 other fucking senses, all that. It just kind of, bam, it was just there, and I was like, shit. And when you have that feeling that something's for certain, but you just don't want to acknowledge it. You just want to deny it because that's the most sane thing in that situation. Well, yeah, that's what happened. And I was sitting there looking at the edge of the bed, and at the edge of the bed is it's a closet. And this closet was fucking wide open. It had clothes and things in it. So I mean, there's no room for anybody to stand in there. But it was completely dark. And I was sitting there, and all of a sudden, that feeling that I just talked to you guys about happened just instantaneously. And lo and behold, this shadow, like the shadow of like what seemed to probably be someone roughly the size of my father, fucking just kind of slides out of the darkness of this closet and just kind of sits on the wall and just stands there. And as I'm talking about it right now, it's actually pretty fucking scary. I'm thinking about it. It's just fucking stands there, and I'm like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my fucking god, oh my fucking god. And I just kept repeating that shit in my mind over and over and over again, and I was completely and utterly fucking shell-shocked at that moment in time. And it just didn't cross my mind that what was actually happening was happening. And as I was sitting there just fucking staring at this figure on the wall, it just slowly kind of left the room. It slid across the banked wall and out the door into the lit hallway and just disappeared. And then the feeling of it being there and the feeling of hostility was also gone. And then I was able to go to sleep. That was story number 2. That was something that was actually pretty fucking scary to tell again, just remembering it, because that was very surreal. And it's another major reason as to why I feel as though, presences in the afterlife do exist. But alright, story number 3. I do have a little bit of time here before this video ends to wrap this one up. Story number 3. This one is a little more recent. After we had moved into the place that we are living in currently, that name thing happened once, and that was that. But nothing really major. But this was a lot more major than the incident with the figure. I mean, that was totally fucking scary because it was there. The ghost was just like, hi. I mean, it didn't talk to me. It was like, I'm evil. Feel my presence. But this was even weirder because it was actual contact. I mean, there was auditory contact and visual contact that I can remember, but actual touch. Touch is something that is so far. I don't even know how to word this sentence bad. It's that much worse because it becomes so much more real and different after something has touched you that you cannot see. And one night I woke up to the feeling of somebody touching my face. I was, laying down. My arm was hanging off the bed. I was laying on my stomach, and my face was kind of pressed on the pillow, and I was looking out, and I literally felt someone touch my face, and it literally felt as though, 'cause they say that spirits are comprised of energy, like electrical energy, at least something similar. And the craziest thing was just this hardcore energy just pulsated through where it touched me on my left cheek, and it rippled just fucking straight down my spine, and it kind of stopped around the mid region of my back, and it just kind of faded away after that. But it was very apparent that something had fucking touched me, and I woke up. I started fucking spazzing out. I didn't scream or anything, but I started fucking spazzing out. I was like, oh shit, what the fuck was that? And when you spaz out, you move a lot, and I was fucking jittery. I fucking bounced around in my bed a little bit because someone just fucking touched me. And I looked around my room. My TV was on, so my room was fully lit. I have a pretty decently sized TV, so that thing fucking covers my room. And lo and behold, no one was fucking there. My door was open, and the door, the hallway light was on as well. So, there was nobody that could visually see was there. And this shit was just fucking BAM! Just, and it fucking bothered me. And I thought it was a ghost. That was the first thing my mind darted to. So I fucking reached out my hand. I started feeling around, and I thought maybe if I put my hand out there, I could feel it. And if there was something there, that I can possibly guarantee that it was a ghost. If maybe my hand got cold, but no, nothing was fucking there. I didn't feel anything, and it just stopped. And it was fucking scary. And that was probably the scariest thing that I myself experienced in the realm of paranormal activity. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed my little story time. I know that in the last video I said I was going to tell a story, but then I went on a little rampant, sidetrack rant and stupid shit like that, with my introductions or whatever. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and as always, subscribe if you want to see more Mellow Speaks, and in the future I will be uploading more Gamer's Guide, and that's about it. See you guys later. Peace the fuck out.